Moving on to COVID-19, the virus that's turned shaking hands into an extreme sport. The good news is the first vaccine has been approved for use in the general population. Yeah. The bad news is it was approved by Vladimir Putin.
Breaking overnight, a surprising claim from Russian President Vladimir Putin that a vaccine has been developed in his country and is already being given to people, including his own daughter.
In the global race for a coronavirus vaccine, Russia said today it's already won, even though it hasn't completed phase 3 trials. That's not slowing Russia down, which today registered and approved for use its vaccine while continuing to conduct human trials. Scientists, including from the WHO, are urging caution, saying only extensive and prolonged testing can determine if a vaccine is effective and safe.
Okay. This is pretty shady to say the least. Because you see, vaccines are like ordering food. You want it quickly, but not too quickly. I mean, yes, I'm hungry, but if my delivery comes in under 10 minutes, was that my delivery or something that was supposed to go out yesterday? Also, let's be honest. Has anything good ever come from a Russian injection? I mean, the best case scenario is you win an Olympic medal that gets taken back 2 years later. And I know Putin wants people to trust him by saying he gave the vaccine to his daughter, but is no one suspicious that he didn't give the vaccine to himself? Because we don't know his relationship with his daughter. Like, if Trump gave the vaccine to his daughter, we'd know it's real. But if he gave it to Eric, then we all know what's up. So look, the truth is that a safely tested vaccine is still probably months away. But in the meantime, here's something that might just hold you over. Candy.
With trick-or-treating in doubt because of the pandemic, candy manufacturers are protecting themselves from potential losses for their biggest season. Hershey has partnered with retailers to set up Halloween merchandise earlier in the summer, in some cases 4 weeks earlier. In addition to the longer season, Hershey's is focusing more on family-sized packs and fewer treats in Halloween-specific packaging.
This is classic America. The candy companies are like, okay, because of Corona, we've got to be prepared. Let's plan this thing out early and let's make sure everybody gets access to candy. Whereas the election people are like, I don't know, I'm feeling lucky. Let's see what happens on the day. And as for Halloween, I thought this whole year was Halloween. Every day I've been wearing a mask and going through an entire bag of fun-sized Twix. What are we supposed to do in October? But I will say, I really do feel bad for candy makers, especially Oompa Loompas. Because let's be honest, if sales are down, they're going to be the first ones let go. And finding a job right now as an Oompa Loompa, well, that's not easy to doompity-doo. Do you think he was f***ing those things? Nah. Meanwhile, Halloween isn't the only autumn tradition in jeopardy. You see, college football season is right around the corner, and the battle over whether to play is getting more brutal than, well, college football.
Sacked, the leaders of college football holding emergency talks on whether to cancel the season.
The Big Ten Conference announcing late today it will postpone all fall sports, joining the Mountain West and Mid-American conferences.
Vice President Mike Pence saying in part, America needs college football. It's important for student athletes, schools, and our nation.
President Trump took to social media saying student athletes have been working too hard for their season to be canceled.
These football players are very young, strong people, and physically, I mean, they're physically in extraordinary shape. So they're not going to have a problem. You're not going to see people, could it happen? But I doubt it. You're not going to see people dying. They get better very quickly if they get it at all. So I think football's making a tragic mistake.
Donald Trump truly has the strangest priorities of all time. 160,000 Americans are dead. It is what it is. College football might get postponed for a year. What a tragedy. If those kids don't get to bang each other's heads, you might never see another Donald Trump. But I will tell you this, if college football is being canceled, then you know coronavirus is serious. Because I've traveled through this country and people in America will do anything for college football. If you told Tennessee fans that their football stadium was going to be moved to the surface of the sun, they'd be like, well, then I'll find a seat on the shady side because this year's going to be the Vols year. But you know what, guys? Instead of forcing college football, maybe now is the time for other college sports to have their moments. Like how about fencing? It's perfect for corona. You wear a mask, and the whole point is to keep someone away. Seems like it's time to shine. And this whole debate must be so confusing for college athletes. I mean, they must play during a pandemic, but they also still can't get paid. It's like they're considered too essential and also not essential enough at the same time. But despite the pandemic, there's still a chance that college football is going to move ahead. And because of that, college coaches have made a few tweaks to their locker room pep talks.
Look, men, I know things are looking bad right now. Billy's already got corona. Steve's got corona too. Greg, you got herpes. That's a different story. But the point is, we're hurting. But let me tell you something. There's a little guy out there named Donnie Trump. And all Donnie wants is to see you guys out there on the field so he can advance his narrative that he beat corona and everything is normal again. And I don't think that's too much to ask. Do you? And if you can't do it for Donnie, then do it for all the money at stake here. Not for you, obviously, but for me and the university. So let's get out there and show whoever isn't quarantined on the opposing team that this is our house. Well, you'll have to do it anyway or we'll take away your scholarship. Breakdown on 3.
In other news, New York City has successfully managed to get its coronavirus infection rate down to just 1%. And now they're asking Tim Apple to help them keep it that way.
New York City's transit agency is asking Apple to help slow the spread of the coronavirus on subways and buses. So the agency wants the high-tech giant to create a face ID that works with face masks. The goal is to let people unlock their iPhones without having to remove their masks. New York State requires masks on public transportation, but the agency says people are violating the rule to access their phones.
You know, sometimes I think technology is the greatest thing that ever happened to humans. And sometimes I think it's just going to set us back. Because instead of just typing in the 4-digit passcode, people are taking off their masks so that the phone can see their face, which to me seems like more work. Honestly, at this point, I'm just surprised people's phones still recognize them. I mean, this is what I looked like pre-quarantine, and this is me now. Look at me. I look like my own evil nappy twin. And by the way, people, why are you staring at your phone while you're in the subway? That is dangerous. You gotta stay alert. You never know who's gonna come onto the train and steal your belongings. Or your heart. By the way, if you're a beautiful woman with brown hair who was on the E train at 5:30 p.m. yesterday, give me my stuff back! I know it was you! Let's begin with another important story about race in America. Now, this is a story all about how one young man's life got turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you about how this man became the prince of a town called Bel Air. Now, if you're saying, hey, Trevor, come on, that's a sitcom. No, it's deadly serious.
And the Fresh Prince of Bel Air is getting a dramatic makeover.
You're going to Bel Air to live with your uncle and your auntie.
According to The Hollywood Reporter, Will Smith is teaming up with Morgan Cooper to create a new show based on Cooper's viral YouTube trailer he created last year that reimagines the beloved 1990s comedy as a modern-day drama. Smith is on board to produce, and Cooper will co-write and direct the reboot.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to feel about this because yes, the trailer looks amazing, but that's just the trailer. I'm worried there's a lot of other moments from the original show that might not work in a drama. I don't care what you say. There is no way to make Carlton's dancing dramatic. And I know this because we've tried. You see? Plus, I would argue that the original Fresh Prince already had a lot of drama. I mean, Carlton had a pregnancy scare, Jeffrey almost got deported, and overnight, they switched dark-skinned Aunt Viv for light-skinned Aunt Viv. That shit was traumatic as hell. But look, I get it. Hollywood is experiencing a lot of success with dramatic, gritty reboots. You know, Joker, Riverdale, so Fresh Prince makes sense. In fact, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna cash in on this. I'm pitching my own dramatic reboot of SpongeBob SquarePants. Do you know why I live in a pineapple under the sea?
Why, SpongeBob?
'Cause a mango killed my father.